you're sitting here and wondering how long does manifestation actually take, I'm about to tell you the exact truth that no one else does. And spoiler alert, it's probably not the answer that you think it is. If you're new here, I'm Tarah, your manifesting bestie, and welcome to the only manifestation community that you need. This is exactly where we trade our doubts for our desires and we watch the magic unfold. Today we're going to be talking about timing. And again, if you're new here, be sure to go back and check out my playlist, Back to the Basics, because I'm going to be adding this video to it, and there's a whole bunch of good tidbits in that playlist. So again, today we're talking about timing, and the real question that everyone has at some point: how long does manifestation actually take? And in this video, I'm going to give you the exact truth that is going to set you free and put your mind at ease so you can finally stop stressing about how long your manifestation is going to take. So here's the thing: manifestation does not run on a clock. There's no magical timeline for, oh, it's going to take me 3 days to manifest money, or 2 weeks to manifest love, or a year to manifest that new house. That's not how it works, which is a really good thing. Here's the actual kicker: the time that it takes is genuinely going to be about your persistence and your state of being. And here's one of my all-time favorite analogies is, think about you planting a seed. So one person plants a seed and they're watering it daily, and they know that this plant's going to grow. So they just water daily, give it the nutrients, and go on about their lives. Whereas the second person is going to water this seed, and every day they're going to go out there and look at this seed, and then they're going to shovel it up and make sure that the roots are starting to form, etc., etc., etc. That plant is not going to grow. That plant is going to struggle. All right, that one is going to take absolutely forever. Now, on the other hand, the difference is not the seeds. They planted both of the same seeds. It is the persistence. It is the persistence that matters. This person over here knew exactly that they planted that seed, they're watering it daily, it's getting sunlight, all the things it needs, and they're going about their lives. They're not sitting there watching this seed grow. While the other person is getting super impatient, and they're going out there and they're digging it up and they're taking a look and they're constantly stressing over this plant growing. It sounds crazy, right? None of us would do that. So why would you do that with your manifestations? If you're someone who's manifesting an SP and you're someone who persists in that story, you lock in, you know exactly what you want, and in here you are living as if it is already true. Well, guess what, besties? That shift is going to happen. It could happen in days. It could happen instantly, okay? It could happen in just a couple weeks. But if you're someone who is manifesting your SP and you're spiraling in and out, wavering in and out, and you're constantly checking your notifications, you're constantly looking to see if this person's going to show up, it's going to take longer. Not because it's harder, but just because you're not having faith. You're not living in the end. You're not living as the version who already has the SP. You're stressing out. You're wavering back and forth. Your reality is literally reflecting your thoughts, your negative thoughts, okay? Because that is the dominant thought. So it's not harder. You have to have a good mental diet up here. Now, let's talk about why it's taking too long is only just a story. When people come to me and they say, well, it's taking too long and it's bumming me out, what they're really telling me is, I don't believe that it's mine yet. So if you don't believe something's yours, then why would it show up? Double standard, people. Your doubt is literally stretching out that time. You are blocking you from getting what you want. However, when you have faith, you're gonna collapse that time. It's not gonna take forever because you're already living as if you have the desire that you want. Now, for those of us who are shopping on Amazon and you automatically go in and you buy the thing that you want, that's your desire. You know it's coming. You're not constantly checking and checking and checking. You know that it's gonna be 2 days or less. You know it's gonna show up at your door. You're not stressing about it. And guess what? Most of the time it shows up before it says it's going to. But if you're someone who's like, oh my God, it's never coming, I need this thing now. Well, you're gonna keep checking and it's gonna feel like torture and it's gonna prolong the delivery time. We don't want that. You see the difference in persistence? One is having faith that it's going to show up, trusting that it's gonna get here, going on about your normal daily life. And the other one, you're fighting it, you're going against it. You don't believe that it's yours, you're stressing out over it. It feels like absolute torture. And what's amazing is that both of these options I just listed out, you ultimately have the choice. Personally, the harder choice is staying exactly where you're at. So if you could put in a little extra effort and have a good mental diet, guess what? You're gonna get your stuff every single time, period. Now, whenever you catch yourself and you're thinking about your desire and you can just feel yourself getting super worked up and impatient and mentally you're saying, oh my God, it's taking so long, I'm bummed out, or ho hum, like this sucks, whatever. I want you to stop yourself right there and we're gonna flip that thought to, it's already mine. I always get what I want. It's already mine. I always get what I want. It's already mine. I always get what I want. Until you feel like you can go about your day as normal. You have to have that clean mental diet. So when you come across any other video and they keep saying mental diet, mental diet, mental diet, it's the same thing. You have to be aware of your thoughts, okay? Thought awareness. That's what we're focusing on here. So the whole narrative of it's just taking too long, that's only a story. You are solely in control. You've got this. We just have to be aware of our thoughts. And practicing that thought awareness and flipping those thoughts, that is going to keep you in the end and living in the end instead of being in the waiting room, where it sucks and it feels like torture. So again, it is completely your choice. Which brings me to my next point. Point number 3, we're gonna collapse the time by living in the end. So the real secret here and the real key is if you are wanting something fast, ASAP, you feel like you're on the timeline, then the whole point is that you need to be living in the absolute end. You have to be living as the version of yourself already has your desire. For example, if you're someone who's manifesting a career, instead of focusing on the version of you who doesn't have it, and you're stressing out because you need this job now, you need this money, you're coming from a place of lack, I need you to stop and we're gonna flip those thoughts and you need to be thinking to yourself, I already love my new job. My interview went great. They hired me on the spot. Oh my gosh, visualize yourself driving to work or picking up your first paycheck or receiving your first paycheck or talking to your colleagues or buying a cute aesthetic desk setup. You have to be putting yourself in that situation and living as that person. It is tough, okay? I understand. It is tough, but what is more tough is living in the same scenario where you don't have the shit you want because you're too hyper fixated on coming from lack, and it's so much easier to be a victim than it is to change your thoughts, all right? But here, we are getting our shit, we're getting our ish, and we're doing the thing. So if you're wanting that new career, you're going to be visualizing your drive to work and setting up your cute desk, and oh my God, your paycheck is the biggest it's ever been and you're depositing it and you can't wait to go back to work. Whatever your desire is, okay? That's what you need to be focusing on, and you need to be waking up each day and intentionally setting time aside to visualize and intentionally focus affirming for that desire. Not belly aching because you don't have what you want. That's only going to prolong the time, all right? Remember, the key here is to collapse the time and getting your desire as fast as possible by living as the version of you who already has what you want. Besties, I'm not even kidding you. I have had manifestations come in literally overnight just because I was completely detached from the situation and I just knew it to already be true. I didn't care about when. It was something so minor to me that I just was like, oh, whatever, like I already know it's gonna show up. And you would be amazed at how fast your reality will shift and bend for you when you can kick back and just live as if you already have that desire. Which then brings me to my last point, and that is stop checking the clock. Stop looking at the 3D, stop comparing how much time it has been. I am gonna make a video on this, especially now that we're coming into like the prime holidays. Time isn't even a real thing, okay? You do not have to crawl before you walk. No, you do not. That is these narratives and limitations that we have put in place. It's not true. It's true if you believe it to be true, but if you're someone who's like, no, I want what I want right now, then guess what? If you believe that, that's what's going to happen for you. But on the flip side to that is the more you stare at the clock, the longer it's going to take. Okay, besties, the whole point of this video is that you can have exactly what you want as soon as you retrain your brain to think as if you already have it. That is it. But when you're the person who's constantly saying, it's not here yet, I'm bummed out, where is it? You're literally reinforcing that thought, and your brain's gonna keep showing you that because that's your dominant thought. You know that you don't have it, so you're focusing on not having it. So guess what? In the reality, you're not gonna have it. And it's going to feel like it's taking forever, and it's going to feel like torture because you're prolonging everything. So the fastest way to shorten the time and speed up your manifestation is going to be living as if you already have your desire. You have to stay in the end, keep persisting, and your 3D has no choice but to catch up and show you exactly what you've been telling yourself for the 7 days or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, however long you have been staying in that version of yourself, that's exactly what's going to show. And remember, golden nugget here, if you are someone who is having trouble and you feel like you've been at this for a while, I need you to be hyper aware of your thoughts. And every time a negative thought pops in, guess what? You're gonna stop, you're gonna acknowledge that you're thinking about your desire, and you're gonna ask yourself, am I thinking as if I'm the version who has it, or am I thinking as the person who still wants it? Okay, chances are you're thinking of the version who still wants it, and it's negative. So you're aware of that, and you're going to flip that thought, bestie. You're gonna flip it into something positive, and you're going to tell yourself, everything always goes my way, everything always goes my way, everything already goes my way, it always, always, always goes my way, I always get what I want. Whatever your umbrella affirmation is, keep saying that, and then go straight into your affirmations for that desire. Flip that thought, stay in that state, be aware, and your 3D has no choice but to conform to show you your desire. End of story. That is all. So if you are someone that is needing help, or you would like some affirmations, make sure to drop them down below. It is the holiday season. I know we're all out here getting what we want and thinking about those desires, etc., etc., etc. Let me know down below. If you need help with affirmations, I'm more than happy to help you with that. And let's get your ish, because that is what this is all about. So let's wrap this up. How long does manifestation actually take? It takes as long as it takes you to persist in the new story. That is it. It could be days, it could be weeks, it could be months. Unfortunately, it could be years. It depends on how long you can be consistent and persistent in the new story. But my friend, it is never random. It is never a coincidence. It is you and only you. You are the secret. You are completely in control of your timeline. And just remember, your magic is only a mindset away. That is it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Keep trading your doubts for your dreams. Make sure to like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you on the next one. Bye!